This is a podcast, episode 4.
Am I broadcasting?
Yeah. Oh, no. Just check on your Facebook. Just go on my page, and do you see us live right now?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you share it?
What is it?
On my page.
How do you share?
I don't know. Let me see.
That's weird. I don't think you can share a video.
Can you share it? Share.
Wow, you should be the computer scientist.
Write something. While Prince is figuring out how to share the live on Facebook, I just want to talk about something real quick about whether you should care about what people say about you. There's something that has been stuck in my head during the week, because every time I walk or every time I do something, since we're doing something related to since we're doing something at IIT, like this podcast, and the app is going to be released in a month, I feel like we are bound at some point to get a lot of criticism. A lot of people are going to be looking at us in a weird way, thinking that we can go ahead and do and be different, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes it gets to my head to some point where I feel kind of paranoid. I don't know. I just wanted to say that since growing up in Mauritius, and I know you've told me that you've experienced that too, whenever you try to do something by yourself, you always feel like people have to have some...
You?
Yeah, people have to judge you because you're doing your own thing. Because you
think that you're better than them?
Yeah, they think that you're better than them because you want to try something new. You want to be your own person instead of being someone in the crowd. You want to be your own person. And I feel like ever since I was a child, I've experienced that feeling of people just nagging you because you want to try something new. And right now, even though we're at IIT, and I'm pretty sure that people at IIT are pretty relaxed about it, I still get that feeling of paranoia and that feeling of that feeling of people criticizing me when I shouldn't be. And I just wanna, and I've been telling myself all week that I shouldn't give a fuck about anything at any point, because at the end of the day, it's only me and it's only us that are responsible for what we want and what we want to achieve with what we're doing. So I just want to say that if you want to be your own person, just be your own person. You don't have to rely on other people judging you. You don't have to rely on other people's opinion to live your own life or to do what you want. What do you have to say about that?
I think, yeah, you should do what... You should sum that up nicely. You should do what you, like so sometimes, like, even me, myself, like, I want to do something and I'll be like, oh, what would this guy think about me?
Yeah.
Or what would they think about me? Or, like, would they think I'm, like, too good for them or something?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I think you just be yourself, like,
Yeah.
you know, just do you, because...
Is that something related to self-confidence? Because is that something related to self-confidence? Because I feel like whenever I try to do something new or whenever I try to do something by myself, I always, instead of being confident in what I'm doing and instead of not giving a fuck, I just look around to see what people think about what I'm doing instead of just doing me, you know?
But, yeah. But I don't think that's just you, though. I think that's just human nature, right? I think people are both judgmental and they really care about what other people think about them.
Yeah. But I know some people, they can just focus on what they do.
I'm sure they still think about what the people think about them.
But they just say that. but we just say that I don't give a fuck.
They might still give a little bit of a fuck, but like they probably don't give much of a fuck.
Yeah.
Or like they've learned that even if like what are the worst people could do? Just talk about you.
Yeah.
They're not gonna kill you.
Yeah. And also starting the podcast, I feel like we started something new. Like before, I've worked on a few small projects, but like starting something new, I always feel like people are waiting for me to watch me trip and fall and then laugh at me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe
you did say back in Mauritius, people were like this, right?
yeah, people are very judgmental in Mauritius.
Like they don't want the good for you.
Yeah, they don't want your success. They want them to succeed first, and then watch you succeed. But they don't want you to succeed or you to do your own thing and then seeing you succeed. So they'll always have something to say about that. And oh boy, it's very stressful. Recently in Mauritius, there was a priest. My family is very religious, by the way. I already told you that, right? Yeah. My family is very religious, and every year we would have a ceremony at my home, and a priest would come. Last month, the priest hung himself.
He hung himself?
Yeah, he committed suicide.
Why?
I'll tell you later. But he hung himself, and on Facebook, people were just laughing, were just commenting at him, just criticizing him because he was depressed, as if depression was supposed to be something that's not true, and that he hung himself because he thought he was depressed, and depression is not true.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at that, and I think that thing, it just pulled me back to Mauritius and pulled me back to that negative atmosphere where people always have something bad to say in whatever circumstances you are in. Mm-hmm. Whether you're in good, whether you're in bad, people always have something to point at you and to say, look at you. You're a scum. And because you're not doing a desk job and being paid minimum wage, I'm going to laugh at you. I don't know. That kind of brought me to a bad place. That's why I'm kind of shaky.
Like, does something like specific happen? Or like you just
no, it's just that
this week or something?
No, it's just that post. It's just that post on Facebook. I was going through the comments and
What post?
Oh, well, people were commenting about the priest hanging himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to comment on the African mentality because you told me to, but you kind of...
Yeah. A lot of people like in my country too, like they would be like they wouldn't want you to succeed. They'll even try to like bring you down.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's pretty messed up.
And a lot of successful people, they're going to tell you to just focus, look at your own craft. Those people will only try to pull you down, but it's the hardest thing to try to differentiate yourself from that whole crowd that's trying to go up. But then once you come up, it's easy to keep going upwards. But the hardest thing is to differentiate yourself from that whole crowd that's trying to come up at the same time. And it's easy to say, but it's very easy to just stick your head down and focus on your craft. Yeah. Anyway, we are releasing the app in less than a month now. How do you feel?
I don't know. I've been panicking like the last week because some parts are not working still.
What?
Some parts are not working, but like I'm trying to fix them.
Wait, for the app that's going to be released next week? In next 2 weeks? In 3 weeks?
Oh yeah, well in November.
In November. Let's put it in November so that you don't freak out.
So like we have some wiggle room, right? But definitely before finals week.
Yeah.
Right? That's
okay. You don't want to push it for the first week? You don't want to release it on the 1st of November?
I mean, if it's possible. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
With everything going I got this weird error like this week, about me having some weird error, right? And like I've been stuck in that error for like 2 days, and it's not fixing. So I have you heard of Stack Overflow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted it on Stack Overflow like 5 a.m. yesterday, and no one has answered it yet. I don't know if they know the answer to it either. It's such a weird error, and like I'm hoping that somebody answers it. But yeah, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
When you told me about Stack Overflow, it just pulled me back to my first CS class, and I was trying to look up solutions on Stack Overflow, but whenever people try to ask a problem on Stack Overflow, they post specific problems, right?
Yeah.
And people like you who understand the whole environment, you can derive your solution from the solution that was provided for those situations, right? But I wanted something specific. I just wanted to be spoon-fed for CS because I just couldn't understand anything, and it was just getting frustrating. Here's Eric.
Wow, Eric. We have our guest coming up.
Yeah. Eric is our guest. I'm just going to open the door for him. You can keep them entertained.
So I'll introduce Eric before he introduces himself. Eric is a computer science major. He's a very khaki guy.
Go sit here.
Eric, you want to introduce yourself? Do you want me to introduce you?
I like people introducing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As I was saying, his name is Eric Torres. Do you have a middle name?
Yeah, Jonathan.
Really?
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Yeah, it is Jonathan. What?
But you're Mexican.
Yeah, my first name is pretty white too.
Oh my gosh, no. Okay, yeah.
It helps me go through resume screenings. Resume screenings?
Oh.
What are you talking about?
His name helps me go through resume screening.
Oh.
But the in-person screenings are like, no.
Yeah, they're like, oh wait, I thought you were white.
All right. In the first podcast, we mentioned Eric as the guy, as the first person that shot the idea of Seek Now down. But then again, his criticism was important to develop the idea. And yesterday I met him at the gym and was talking about the podcast, so I just told him to come in. How are you? How was your test? He just came up. He just came from a test right now.
Yeah, it was awful. It was
Really?
brutal. Yeah, because the professor told us that all we had to do was like review the homework, and that it was actually going to be easier than homework. But the last part, which was a huge part, it was worth like 20 points, which is like more than 1/3 of the whole test, was nothing like the homework.
Really? What was
And
it?
nothing like the past test.
What was it?
We had to use SQL like recursive functions.
What?
And then he was talking something about creating views, which I should have known. Like I just didn't review. You just kind of have to add like create view, right, or something. I don't know. Regardless, he added a lot of other things that wasn't in any of the past like midterms from other years.
Wow.
And so yeah, and it wasn't even in the homework. So
How do you feel right now?
I'm pissed, dude. I'm
Pissed.
angry. But it's all over. You know, I can't do anything about it
Yeah.
anymore. Gotta
Hopefully
put it
he
behind
curves, right?
me. Yeah. I mean,
If no one actually knows, it's probably like the score, the average is really low. He's gonna be forced to curve.
yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone just gets D's. Oh no. Oh my god, no.
He normalizes.
I'm just looking for a B now in that class, honestly. After that test,
Damn.
I was doing pretty good in the homeworks too. I was getting 100s, close to 100s. But
If it is your project, you'll probably get an A.
the project,
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen either. I'm gonna have to grind that project.
So anyway, we were just talking about how you were afraid of the app being released.
Oh yeah, because you remember that error that I keep having? That I even posted on Stack Overflow.
All right, Eric is also a CS student, if you haven't called by now. So the whole CS lingo that's going on right now, but I can't understand. That's because two CS people have met, and it's that whole world. Yeah, what were we saying? You were trying to find the solution for it?
Yeah, but I'm sure I'll find it. Right? We'll always find a solution. Right. I've heard many errors before.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not important.
Because
Yeah, the app is gonna be released next month. We don't know when next month.
okay.
You don't know when?
No.
Sometime, maybe. Hopefully.
Just November.
Because I
Let's
was
surprise our audience.
I was planning on designing like posters and doing a bunch of publicity stuff for it, just to put a specific date
Yeah.
for a release date.
Mm.
But now what you're telling me about, I guess I have
this
to wait
video
on
recorded?
your green light.
Is it video recorded?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's on the
it's on
webcam,
Facebook
yeah.
too.
But it can see you.
Tell
No.
can't
Lauren
see
to tune in.
Say hi.
Hey, what's up,
Okay.
people,
Tell
world?
Lauren to tune in.
Oh, Lauren? No, I don't think so. I don't think she's gonna want to tune in.
Lauren is Eric's girlfriend, right?
Depends who's asking.
Boy. Anyway, yeah, I was kind of
He's gonna kill
feeling.
me.
You said this on air too.
I was kind of feeling that I would be confusing people about Seek Now, A Podcast, Flower Dog, all those names.
Yeah, like I don't.
It's kind of all over the place.
About like what exactly are we talking about?
Yeah, so that's why on the poster, the one I showed you, the one I designed, it's kind of like I just wanted to show a podcast which we're talking about Seek Now, and then if you want to contact us, you contact us through flowerdog@gmail.com. But the Flower Dog pod doesn't matter really. It's just Seek Now and a podcast. Those are the only things that matter.
Mm.
I just hope that people don't get confused, or that people or that people don't create a discussion that gets confusing, and then at some point we just lose interest because it just gets too confusing for them.
Mm.
I was gonna ask you something about names. Do you think Seek Now's name matters?
Yeah.
Does it matter a lot? Because I
Matters
remember.
to help get the brain and feeling across.
Because I remember when we were talking about it in June, you were like, Seek, and you wouldn't give up the name Seek. And then once we realized that Seek was already had a trademark on it, then you went on Seek Now. So
I think Sick Now fits even better.
already,
Yeah.
why?
Because the whole point of it is to quickly find steady partners.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Mhm. So tell me, why do you think the name matters really? Because a lot of people online, like inspirational speakers, they tell people that are trying to come up with a business to not focus on the name, because no one cared about Nike when Nike wasn't a thing. No one cared about the name. Even when I read the book about the founder of Nike, he didn't like the name Nike, but he had to settle on it because we didn't have enough time.
I mean, of course, it's not like the most important thing, but like the name should definitely like represent your brand, right?
Mm-hmm. What do you
I
think?
think it's definitely important.
Tell me why.
I mean, there's like, you don't want like a crazy long name, right? For, like a stupid name. It has to be something that people, I guess, I don't know, there's like a certain tune to it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like Nike, even though he didn't really care, maybe he just got lucky and,
Yeah,
Because
well-
luck is a huge important part that a lot of people don't take into account into things.
Yeah.
And also back then, the names were pretty dumb. Like the only big shoe brand that was out there was Adidas, and Adidas is from Germany, so it's like you already have a cool name because no one knows what Adidas means. Where are you getting Nike from?
Yeah. Plus the names also come naturally from your business. Like it comes from what you're doing, like naturally. Like you don't like a good name. You don't have to think about much, right? It will just come.
So how do you think that the creators of Pornhub came with the name then? Like, did it came naturally enough where the people were like, oh, that seems very, like, that represents the essence
Creators
of...
of Pornhub.
Hmm?
You said the creators of Pornhub.
Yeah, I mean, it's a business, right? It makes money,
like,
so...
I don't think the name is. You can still be successful with a really shitty name.
Mhm. Give me an example.
But, give you an example.
Chipotle.
Sears.
I know, like Volkswagen.
Chipotle.
Chipotle is a shitty name.
Like
I think that's
there's like 5 different ways of saying it. Like when I
Yeah.
first saw Chipotle, I didn't even want to bother reading it because it was so long. I just looked past it. You know what I mean? It's not something that will make me like
Chipotle.
like
Mhm.
I'm so lazy. I wouldn't even bother signing it out.
I don't know. I like their name, Chipotle.
because you like the food. You eat it
Because
like
you're
every day.
Mexican.
That's kind of racist, man. But no, there's definitely like the name isn't that important. Like there's a lot of not really that good sounding. Like there's a lot of okay names.
Hmm.
Like
but you
Google?
can like yeah. I mean I don't know. Yeah, like Google. You know like, You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
there's some like, it's really up to the branding, like the marketing, how you like present it. You can change a lot of people's minds through marketing. You can make something as simple like Apple sound so, like fancy
Luxury,
and
luxurious.
luxurious. Yeah.
Mhm.
Apple.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't if I were to start again, I wouldn't really focus on the name that much. Because I don't think that it matters, but I respect people that really believe in it. In my iPro, the one I'm doing right now, I'm doing an entrepreneurship iPro, and in that iPro, they kept on fighting on what name to choose.
your group.
At the end of the day, my iPro, my business, my hypothetical business is called Pulling Chicago Together.
How? What?
My hypothetical business is called Pulling Chicago Together.
Pulling Chicago.
And the acronym is PCT. How do you find is that a good name?
Kind of long.
Pulling to, I would be like, so you like an elevator pitch. You'd be like, so what's your company? Well, we're name Pulling. That's already the whole elevator pitch right there.
Yeah.
Right before you even say the
Pulling Chicago Together.
Yeah.
Ding. Where do you wish my flow?
That's another thing though. You can fix bad names too in the future. You can like a lot of companies. I can't really think about them in the top of my head, but there's a lot of companies that had really long or really shitty names where they like shorten it and it sounds
that's
more
true.
like sweet. Short and sweet.
And also, I think that if you're a company, you don't necessarily need to brand your product as the same way as the company's name. For example, if Nike had a shitty name, they could have just branched out Nike to be just shoes, right?
Mhm.
Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Let's say my company is called Pulling Chicago Together, right? But I want to expand in Detroit. So the division in Chicago will be called Pulling Chicago Together, but in Detroit it will be called Pulling Detroit Together. Like stuff like naming things different.
You can. There's a lot of companies where they work under a whole like a huge umbrella company, and then those under like Pornhub. Pornhub isn't its own company.
Yeah.
It belongs to a more like a giant company, sort of how Google belongs to Alphabet.
Yeah.
So like a lot of companies do that. They might have like a really crappy name at first, and later on they might regret that. So they might like extend the smaller companies to have different
Also,
names.
does talking about Pornhub make you uncomfortable right now?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Because, I mean, we don't have to use it to know the name, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's a huge brand. People, it doesn't only make money by videos now. They make money by selling merch also.
Yeah.
And I see people.
Really?
That's how I knew about the brand. I saw people wearing the merch first.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Wait. You saw somebody wearing like a Pornhub shirt?
Online, yeah. Some guy, he was a comedian online, and he was just wearing a Pornhub shirt and a Pornhub cap, and he was just walking on the streets.
And that's how yes, I knew about it?
No, I'm joking about.
Oh, okay. They say, wow.
But still, would you wear Pornhub merch?
No.
Would you wear Signal merch?
Yeah.
Would you wear a podcast merch?
Yeah. Oh.
Just wanted to know whether you trust in.
Would you wear a Pornhub merch?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't like getting attention on myself a lot, especially when I'm in public. I don't like people to be just staring at me.
Yeah.
And Pornhub is a very universal name now. I mean, the first, whenever you're trying to make a joke about porn, the first name that comes in your head would be Pornhub.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a household name right now.
Mm-hmm.
What, Pornhub?
Yeah.
Would you wear a Pornhub merch?
No. That's so weird. I don't know. Like, why would it? I don't know. It's like
Would you
Like a
wear
hat.
it? Would you wear it as a joke with your friends,
As
or
a-
would you wear it
Maybe as a joke, but
I
I
don't
don't wear
think-
it on the street. Like people would just be looking at me like.
I don't even think it's.
But what if you were
It
it
with
wouldn't
your
even
friends?
be that funny of a joke, like wearing a Pornhub shirt. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't think that was that funny.
Who wears that? Anyways, forget it.
Why are we talking about Pornhub?
Yeah.
I have a question. What would you be doing if you did not go to college?
Like if then I go to college.
Yeah, what would be your life goal? Like,
I'd probably join a boot camp.
what's a boot camp?
It's like a coding boot camp, not a military boot camp, but a coding boot camp.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind, like
Yeah.
military.
No, you know what a coding boot camp is, right?
No, tell me about this.
So it's just like where you go, and supposedly they like train you to become like a software engineer in like a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
A software engineer,
Yeah.
quotation marks.
Well, they teach you all the basics you need to know for like web development most of the time. So I'd probably do that to learn coding and get everything.
Oh, so you'd
I'd
still
probably try to start my own company.
So you'd still branch out in CS?
Yeah, I'd still definitely do CS. I think technology or anything related to technology.
Are you really passionate about CS, or did you
Not
go-
CS in general. I just like building things, and I really like computers.
So why didn't you go ahead and become like
A CE major, or
or just someone that assembles computers? You know?
like I said, I like building things that, but like I like building things that can be beneficial to people. Assembling computers isn't something that I can it could be beneficial to somebody else. Like I like building things, and my goal in life is to build something where I can see millions of people benefit from it, and I can also actively see them use.
Isn't that something that a lot of CS students think like? They want to create something where they can solve everyone's problem at the same time. We were talking about that earlier, remember?
I don't
not
think
everyone's problem.
Yeah, it's not
but like,
everyone's problem.
But
you
millions.
see some people like see people that people see value in what you made.
And know that it was you, right? And can understand what you do. If like I don't think I'd be happy working, as a mechanical engineer or as a computer engineer and telling and working on a specific thing of like in a computer and then trying to explain something to them. Like trying to explain some jargon to them, and they still don't
like some
understand what I
circuit
do.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I would I want something I want to have people understand what I do.
Yeah.
And also benefit from what I do, and understand how they benefit. And that's why, you know how a lot of CS majors look up to all these like open source guys. There's a lot of
like Richard Stallman.
yeah, and
Linus
I don't
Torvalds.
really see, like I don't really like I respect the guys, right? Because they've done so much for the CS community, but I don't know, I don't admire them. That's why I look into people like Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos.
Or Jeff Bezos, right? Not necessarily Jeff Bezos, but like people that built something and other people have benefit from it, but they also know what they built. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just something like so like only tech people understand.
So segueing from that point, I'm gonna go back to that point, but segueing from that point, so you really want your product to be attached to you, so that when someone looks at what that product is, they're related to Eric.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's to summarize. Yeah,
Like your brand or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
personally.
I want to be a part of the branding of my product, whatever product I make, and that has to do with a lot with like leaving a legacy. Like how most people want to leave a legacy somehow. Some people choose.
Is that your life goal, to leave a legacy behind?
Yeah, I think so. I even when I was like a little kid, I've always wanted to put my name somewhere. I remember when I was a little like 8, I would watch like the documentaries like about the galaxy and stuff like that and black holes. And back then I wanted to like discover something or like another planet or discover like, a theory on I don't know, black holes and like be able to put my name in it. And that way people would always remember me. And that largely stems from like my fear of death. But
Tell me about that.
You don't want to be forgotten.
yeah, It's
you don't want to be
I
another
feel like
person.
it's everyone. Like everyone who
Yeah.
wants to leave a legacy
Yeah.
is also scared of like dying. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And that's
like-
why their legacy is their way of like living on.
I feel like there's like a lot of, because like remember when I was telling you the last podcast, everyone craves a feeling of appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what you're saying. Like even people like, I feel like, you know, people that commit like mass murders and stuff like that, and then they kill themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like that's them leaving their legacy, right? Because if like that intrigues me a lot, because I'll watch like their life stories.
Yeah.
And they'll like, some of them would be like, oh, like no one cared about them, like no one even knew they existed, and like they would just randomly do these mass murders, and then
School
and then they
shootings.
get like famous,
Mm-hmm.
and then like people start talking about them. right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, there was something like that on a documentary we watched for social psychology, and it really talked about it really. Where you guys? Oh. It really talked about how people how some psychologists like have a theory that people know in the back of their minds that they're gonna die and that there's nothing like after death, and so what they do is like a lot of them try to leave legacies in different ways. So a lot of them, you know, focus on their kids. They want to have a lot of kids, or a lot of them focus on building relationships, and that way people can remember them. A lot of people focus on like, you know, building companies, building a lot of money. You know, leaving like in their
imprint.
head, it's in a way to like leave a part of them alive still, even after they die. So like almost like they never die in that sense.
Damn.
And that, I don't know, I found that really interesting. That's another thing. I wish I could study psychology too without.
Well, you can double minor if you want. I have a lot of friends with double minor. They
So
do
much
like
work.
engineering and psychology, but at the same time, it's just a pain.
It's so much work. Yeah.
And like it's fun reading like books that talks about psychology and stuff. Like you go also read books and stuff. Like you don't
Yeah,
have to double
exactly.
minor,
Yeah.
right?
And I think that a lot of things psychology related is more of research and statistics, and not the interesting things what you're talking about, like I know in industrial psychology I learned about the dog triad, which is like psychopathy, sociopathy and stuff like that. I don't remember quite what it is, but it's very interesting stuff what you're talking about, like how you can mark your legacy, but you do it by killing people instead of marking it by helping other
like,
people.
Some people would do it by like negative things,
Yeah.
such as like committing crimes.
Yeah.
Other people would do it like positive things. Like
And that's the interesting part of psychology.
Yeah.
But before you learn that, you have to learn all the boring stuff, all the statistic stuff, all the papers that you have to write and shit. And I don't think it's worth.
Well, I feel like it's because most majors in school are focused on preparing you for research.
Yeah.
And regardless of what it is, like, you know, CS or psychology, they're all for research. A lot of them aren't really focused on application.
yeah, so like you can like give back to the major, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Because if everyone was application, how would the subject move forward?
Yeah.
So what do you think is better? Like, you think the scientist, the physicist, or the engineer?
Do you think
that's a hard
that's a fair question?
That's a hard question because everyone has like there's like it goes back to your personality, right? Some people are really smart and don't like confrontation.
I'm talking about like your opinion. Like, what do you think is more important?
Like just me.
Yeah. Who do you think actually moves?
Definitely the
Things.
sciences.
The scientist?
Because without the science, without the scientists, you wouldn't have the tools, right? But then again, without the engineer, the scientist would be worthless.
It's like
it would be worthless.
it's like a symbiotic relationship where we both work together. Is that the word, symbiotic?
Yeah. Well, win-win.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
I heard that word from a biomed engineering student, and I was like, whoa, that's a very intelligent word. That's a big word.
It is like win-win.
The only time I ever heard that like word is like symbiotes from, you know, Spider-Man.
Yeah, like Venom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I always think when people say something like that word.
But my roommate is a physics major, and he's super smart. Like he could do CS, he could do anything. He could be a bright engineer, but he chooses to do physics and waste in inverted commas, like in in between inverted commas, waste his school and college life to do physics, and he's gonna pursue a PhD, and he knows that he's not gonna get a job until he's like 35 or 40 years old, and he knows that he's not gonna be paid as much as an engineer would, but he still wants to do that because he still wants that whatever he's doing research on right now, he wants that to lead to something in 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's something
Like
but I cannot process.
He
How?
wants to do research.
Yeah.
That
He wants to have this PhD, and if you want to do your PhD, you have to do a lot of research and shit.
Mhm.
And he wants that research to accomplish something, not now, but in 100 years.
I mean, that's almost the same thing what Eric was saying. He wants to leave. He wants to make a company that will be known forever, right? It's in really, really different ways.
Yeah.
But the end goal is
But at the same
to leave a
time,
legacy.
yeah. But you're spending so much money in college.
What if he finds it really fascinating?
Yeah, he finds it fascinating. That's the thing. But at the same time, for me, the thing about paying money to go to college, I really want to make that money back at some point. And he knows that he's gonna go broke after college. He told me for a fact that I'm gonna go broke, and I'm probably gonna live on the streets after my PhD if I don't get a job, because it's so hard to get a job, and my major doesn't create a lot of opportunity for me.
He must be really fascinated.
I mean, I don't believe so.
Physics.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna find some type of job. Either
Yeah, me too.
researching, or he might find, like, there's a lot of companies that would hire a physicist for a lot of things. I don't know. I mean, he loves it. Like, that's the thing. Like, if he's really passionate about it, you know, like Prince here can be starting that company and then it might fail, but he doesn't care because I'm serious. Like, you guys might fail, but it doesn't matter because you guys are trying and you guys love what you're doing, right?
Yeah,
and that's what you
it.
want.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Prince's goal is also to start a company and leave and have it, be there forever, right? And be
Right.
really successful. So it doesn't really matter if he grows broke.
Mhm.
I think at one point,
Yeah.
as long as you love what you're doing,
Yeah.
and as long as it's a part of your plan,
Mhm.
your life plan, then I don't think you're gonna care.
Mm. Speaking about having your name related to the product you're creating, I was thinking about us, and us related to Seek Now, and us being the image of the co-founders of Seek Now on campus. And I was thinking that I should remove me from that equation, because a lot of people know you, and a lot of people like you. But for me, I feel like even a few people that I know, I just don't say hi to them when I see them on a daily basis. Because I feel like ever since my freshman year here, I've just had a weird relationship with people on campus. So some people, I've met them during freshman year or sophomore year, and I've just, after meeting them, I've just stopped meeting them. I cannot hold a healthy relationship with people unless I speak to them
Every day.
on a regular basis.
Mm.
That's why I just want to really remove my face from that and just work on the background and put your face, or if you don't want to put your face in the forefront, put a face
Put
in
the
front.
brand. Just put the brand. Like, I feel like the most important thing in a company is just the brand, not really
Not really
the
the
people
faces.
who work behind the people who work behind them. At least it's my view. Like, I rather have my brand, just the brand live on, more than me live on.
But at the same time, this podcast is supposed to be us representing the brand right now.
There's a lot of ways you can market a brand. I mean, a company, I guess.
That's
like,
true.
You can do what Steve Jobs did and put his face, on like next to the brand, and that's what he
put
did.
his face next to the brand.
Yeah, he definitely did. A lot of people know Steve Jobs.
Yeah, a lot of people-
created
Yeah,
Apple.
but like,
I mean, I guess now
he made the brand more, but like people
now
just associate. I mean, like, if your brand is really out there, people will really. It's like it will.
and Mark Zuckerberg too is another example. Like, people associate those two entities together, and whenever Mark Zuckerberg shows up in like anywhere public, it's always for Facebook, and it's always to represent Facebook. Like, he's representing Facebook versus, like, let's say, I don't know, Google. Like, Google,
Yeah,
the founders don't represent Facebook in a sense. Like, they don't, I guess, embody. I mean, not Facebook, Google.
Like,
they don't embody Google.
Like, I've always thought to myself, like, why are people like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg like really known, and like Steve Jobs, but people like Jeff Bezos,
I don't know. Jeff Bezos is pretty known.
it's not really. It's not that
I
known.
think
Elon Musk isn't even that well known.
you have a point, but I think your perspective is very Americanized. Because if you go outside of America and you ask those questions, who is Jeff Bezos, for example, no one will know Jeff Bezos. If
Right, that's what I'm saying.
If you
People
ask,
don't know
If you ask who Steve Jobs is, like, oh, that guy who wrote a book, right?
What a book.
Yeah. If you go in Mauritius, you're like, who's Steve Jobs? I'm like, oh, I think I've seen. He's a writer, right? In a bookstore or something.
Really?
Because he a lot of people have written his biography, right? And a lot of people have seen I mean, they've probably seen Apple next to it, but I'm not demeaning Mauritius, but I'm pretty sure if you ask someone in Mauritius or if you ask someone in anywhere in the world, they'll be like, oh yeah, Steve Jobs. What's Steve Jobs? You know?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I get your point. A lot of people also relate those people to their products. And I was asking myself whether it's a good idea for us, because my mission right now with what we're trying to do is trying to personify Seek Now with us.
That does, yeah, to the podcast thing, right?
Yeah, the podcast, the way we're going to advertise, the way we are going to reach out to other people, the way we're going to talk about us and what we're doing after the app is released.
That does definitely kind of give it.
But at the
It
same
makes
time,
people feel more connected to it. But like this wouldn't work for like a large scale company. Right?
Oh yeah,
This only works because it's just
we at IIT. That's
right.
why.
And IT is also really small.
The only way that would work on a large scale would be if I was talking about me cheating on a test on the podcast, and then IIT would kick me out, and then I'd go on a huge media organization. I would say, hey, IIT kicked me out because I said I was cheating on the podcast. Which would be, to be honest, a good investment to get kicked out of college, but also have a huge attention brought to the app and to a podcast, because that would bring a huge audience. Is that your roommate?
Oh yeah, what's that guy doing? Should we invite him? Say a couple words.
Maybe next week. We already have a guest, that's why.
Who?
Me.
Oh,
Anyway,
The coolest guest you'll ever have in this podcast.
So I
Besides
asked the
Iris.
question earlier.
Besides Iris?
And Virus.
Virus? Besides Virus.
I asked the question earlier. If you didn't go to college, what would you do?
Oh, I think I will also seek something
CS related?
not necessarily CS related, but something creating related.
Okay.
But like Eric, I was also really into creating stuff. Like when I was younger, I would go to like my library and like check out DIY books. I mean, do it yourself books, and like just so I could like put something together, right? And I just like the satisfaction of like seeing what I made, right? And like after a while, like because I would do it from like things that I have at home, like pencils and like cups and stuff. But like I'm pretty broke, so like I couldn't go ahead and buy stuff.
Same.
Right. So like, and when I found out about like like you can like type things and make it come like in real life, I was like, whoa, right? And
That's what you're saying.
that's what really fascinated me. So yeah, I'll definitely be some type of creator. Maybe if I was rich when I was younger, I may have not gotten to CS. I may have been like some type of like computer engineer or something like that, or like electrical engineer.
Why do you associate money with that?
Because I wanted to buy a lot of like DIY, do it yourself, like robotic kits and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And like I didn't have the money for it.
I was a computer engineer major in my first year.
Why'd you switch?
Why?
Yeah.
I didn't like computer engineering. The reason I went into it is because the same thing, I wanted to build something, and I was really interested at the time with like Apple's history and like how they like were able to get their engineers to fit design standards instead of the other way around. And they made such like beautiful like computers, and I wanted to make something like that, like something like tangible, like a phone, like a really nice phone or something. But then I don't know, I realized that the subject didn't interest me. Like the idea of the subject did, but not the actual content of the subject.
But at the same time,
And
you're trying to your intention was pure, but they did that back in the day. Now you're trying to do that with everyone at the edge of technology. Back then you could create a small increment, but then it would be a huge deal because there was nothing back then. But now the small increment that you're going to create is going to be really tiny, and no one's going to recognize you for your work because it's just going to be you creating Wi-Fi 5.0.
I feel like that's what everyone says in every single period of time. So I feel like even back then people were
Even
saying
back then,
that.
you were saying.
Even now, like you can still do little things that can do big things. You know, like a lot of people change small things in apps, make it a lot more simpler than other apps, and they can become successful that way.
Like Uber is
kind of
may
an app.
have seen like a small increment, but that was a really big step. Right. It doesn't have to be. Like, I think you're thinking about to technology wise.
Yeah.
But like it could go through idea wise.
Idea-wise, yeah.
There's different ways to implement it. But,
Because the way I see electrical engineers and computer engineers now is just people trying to go from USB 1.0 to USB 2.0 to USB-C or Bluetooth 1 to Bluetooth 2 to Bluetooth 3. Like,
so what you're saying is like you don't see like much innovation going on, like big innovation, like from like normal like a BlackBerry to an iPhone type of thing.
Yeah, with electrical engineers and computer engineers for now, I'm just seeing them doing maybe improving upon what the founders like the vision, improving upon what the visionaries thought of. They're just improving on those ideas
instead of making their
exactly. Yeah.
So I feel I'm gonna disagree. Like the reason is like the media makes it sound that way. Because right now the hottest things, the what most people are looking at are apps, web apps, and so that's what mostly gets coverage. But there's a lot of advancement going on computer engineering and electrical engineering. Like computer vision, like GPUs and CPUs, they're getting a lot faster. There's like Google came up with I forgot what it was called, a TPU or something. It's for like deep learning, and it's a specific processor for deep learning, so that way it can be like faster. You can train models faster and like supposedly better. So that's a huge thing too. There's also quantum computing, a lot of advancements there.
Those are just not the buzz.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people don't understand them.
Yeah, I guess that in 100 years, when you're going to zoom out and then look back at those moments, you're going to realize that you were in those growing eras, but you just didn't know because you were so focused in the next iPhone, in the next AirPods, in the next Samsung mobile phone, instead of those things.
Even then, it's still pretty amazing. Like earpods, like they're so small and like they're wireless.
So
and they
loud.
sound so good. Yeah, right. They sound so.
Yeah, I
good.
had a question. Do they sound good?
They do sound. I
They
tried them,
sound so like,
but
amazing.
I really like them. But they wouldn't be for my ears because if it always felt like they're gonna fall. Like I have really small ears. Like I can't even see my ears.
I just have a problem that when I'm working out at the school's gym, the loudspeaker is so loud that my cheap $30 headphones, they cannot. They always my sound just gets muffled by the loudspeaker. Yeah,
By the school's gym. By the gym.
By the gym speaker. Yeah.
My headphones block out the.
Oh yeah, you have headphones, but mine's small.
Oh.
That's why I was about to ask you at the gym yesterday whether your Beats.
They're noise canceling. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, are the little small AirPods noise canceling?
I don't know. I think so. They sounded pretty like noise canceling for me. They sounded as good as my Beats. Probably maybe even better.
Oh really?
They're really
Wow.
good. They're really good.
I'm surprised. Like,
That would be
small product.
because like have you guys gotten the standard? Tried the standard
The-
iPhone?
the wired one.
The wired ones, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They're
not
not-
as good.
Yeah,
They're not bad either.
they're just normal.
I mean, they're not bad, but they're not as good as like the earpods. The
Oh yeah,
earpods
of
are
course.
really good.
Yeah.
They look pretty good. Makes you look like a.
It looks so
CEO.
futuristic.
Yeah, you remember when they were first released? Everyone was like, "What the fuck is
Yeah, everyone was
iPhone?"
so mad. Everyone was like, "Why? Why would
Yeah,
you do this?
why is iPhone releasing Q-tips for your
This is
ears?
so stupid." Yeah.
Oh, just put it there. Yeah, why is
Now
iPhone?
everyone's wearing it.
Yeah, now it's a fashion statement.
It's the same thing for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, some people would buy it just because it looks good.
I would buy it just
because it looks good.
I would buy it just because. It
Bro,
looks
in
good.
fact, I might even like. I would consider maybe like 2% chance consider getting an iPhone.
Oh yeah, my next phone
because
is,
of the AirPods.
my next phone is
1.5%.
80% gonna be an iPhone.
Really?
Yeah,
Your
maybe
next
the iPhone XL.
Your next phone?
He has an Android right now.
I have an Android. Yeah, I've just had the iPhone 3GS, and then after that, I went to the Samsung Galaxy S3, Note 3, Note 5, and at this point, I'm just fed up of Android because I just want a phone that's simple and a phone that does things for me and not me doing things for it. Like installing a launcher in my phone, customizing the icons and shit. I don't care about that.
Get a Pixel.
I used to be like that. I used to be always against Apple. And I used to have the Windows HTC HD2. I used to have the HTC 7 like Windows phone. I used to be so like into Windows. And then after that, I got an Android, a Samsung, I think Galaxy S5.
Yeah.
And then after that, I kind of like just wanted to try the iPhone because everyone had the iPhone, and I just like fell in love with the iPhone. It's just so simple and so easy to use, and like I don't know, like it's like I used to do a lot of what was it called? Flashing my phone to get Android from like the Windows 7 to Android.
Flashing around.
Yeah, flashing around. I used to be, and I actually
I did that a lot too.
No, yeah, and then one time I put like different ROMs together. I was just like playing around with the files and just like and then actually made one. It was pretty funny.
Made a whole new ROM.
Yeah, I made a whole new ROM with like just putting things together. But I don't know. I was just like the iPhones are just I don't know a lot sleeker. I guess a lot nicer. They look a lot prettier, and I have so much respect for that.
Yeah, they're so much more user intuitive. Basically, it's just a phone that's supposed to do what the phone's meant to do.
It does way more than a phone is supposed to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really see what people complain about Android for. Like, okay, tell me one thing that made
my one
camera.
My one big complaint.
What? The camera's good.
Okay, on Snapchat, bro. Anyone that has an Android.
That's because Snapchat. That's because
anyone that has an Android looks like a fucking like a badly video game.
Yeah, that's because no. You know why? Because on Snapchat, you know how Snapchat works on iPhones. It uses the actual camera.
Yeah, but like on Android, it captures what the screen is saying.
Exactly, it captures the screen, not even the camera.
That's what I hate about Android. They have so many models that app developers, they would prefer going the shortcut way and then just do a cheap way of how, instead of actually going through every phone. For the iPhone, you just have to go through.
Why they do that? Because of the models?
There are so many models. That's why app developers will rather just go through a shortcut way and just record the screen instead of going through the camera's settings and then going through every phone and then seeing how every camera works and then configuring Snapchat to every camera. They just capture the screen, and then that's why every Apple user like, if you're on Android, don't add me on Snapchat.
I see. I know what you're saying because you know the era I have now. The era for Secret. Yeah. It works perfectly on iPhone, but like, it's just an Android problem.
I was designing the.
you know, Android is like the most widely used phone. I mean, OS.
OS.
Yeah, in the world, but not in the US.
Yeah, it's I can see that.
Apple is in the US.
I can see that, like
because in the whole world, carriers don't sell iPhones the same way, and carriers don't bother selling iPhones because the US is rich.
I feel like it has to do more with sort of how the US is, like the culture here. It's a lot more about like fashion and like fashion statements.
Yeah,
and showing off how much money you have, and so luxury items like the Apple works a lot better here.
Also, anyone can make an Android phone. You need to get you could get an empty normal phone, and make your own OS, put it in there, and sell your Android phone, right? So and like you can't. No one but Apple can make.
Apple keeps that standard. You know, like a shitty company can come and take the Android.
And I think those shitty companies that ruin Android for everyone.
Yep.
Because like somebody will mess up and get some shady Android that like some company don't know how to do, and then they'll like
even Google for the new Pixel release with the whole fucking notch and shit.
The what?
The whole notch, the new Pixel 3 notch. Have you seen that?
The notch.
The notch on the phone. You haven't seen the new Pixel 3 XL?
I've seen the new Pixel 3, but I didn't see a notch.
Maybe you should.
What does a notch do?
Well, they've put two cameras in front now. Like,
really?
Yeah.
What?
So one camera is going to take your normal selfie. The other one is a wide lens camera. But at the same time, no one's gonna use the wide lens selfie camera, and they've just added a whole notch. So you've provided such a good software for Android. You were supposed to be the Android savior, and then you ruin it with a design, with outer design, and people don't want to sacrifice screen space anymore. That's why people are eliminating the bezels from the phones.
There's no notch.
Dude, look it up. Pixel 3 XL.
Really?
Yeah, just look Pixel 3 XL notch. It's huge. It's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
I love how when the iPhone X was released, everyone was just criticizing iPhone for the notch, and then once they realized it became a fashion statement because iPhone released it, everyone put a notch in their phones.
This thing?
Yes.
Oh, but don't iPhones have that too?
This one is twice the size of the iPhones.
Mm.
Anyway, I saw something on YouTube during the week. It's something about people waking up early to become more productive. Eric, are you a morning person?
No, definitely not. I tried that whole thing. I was just like,
When do you wake up usually?
like around 8 a.m.
8 a.m.?
Yeah.
Oh, that's early.
That's early?
Yeah.
Really?
When
I
do you
think
wake
that's
up?
late.
I mean, even on Saturdays?
No, on Saturdays I stay up. I mean,
of course you're going to have to wake up at 8 for classes, but like, if you're not going to school.
I go to the gym. That's why. I like keeping a consistent schedule throughout the whole week, even if I kind of
If you're not
even if I'm on break or something.
if you're not consistent, you won't be able to achieve anything or commit to anything.
That's the thing. All those like advices about being more productive or whatever. I feel like I don't know. That's really subjective. It won't work for everyone. It might work. Like waking up early might work for other people. And it might not work for me or you. And it might work for you maybe at this point in your life, but it might not. It might work for you when you're older or something, because older people tend to need less sleep than younger people.
Yeah, well, I just saw the challenge on YouTube, and I started it this morning. I just started waking up early.
5 a.m.?
I woke up I put an alarm at 5, I woke up at 5:30. But it's way earlier than what I used to, because...
What time do you usually,
10 a.m.
You go sleep at 10?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad then.
That from 10 to 5, but I went to bed at 10 p.m.
That's
yesterday.
a huge change.
Yeah, but
I know, I mean, like, you're still getting a good amount of sleep.
Yeah,
Like 7 hours.
I used to go to bed at 3 a.m. before, so now I go to bed at 10 p.m.
You used to go to bed at 3?
Yeah.
No, I try to get 8 hours of sleep.
I go to bed at 5.
I used to
6.
sleep only 3 hours. You go to bed at 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
And then when do you wake up?
Usually like 11.
And then when do you go back to bed?
4.
Oh, you don't sleep in between? No naps? No nothing?
Sometimes I take like 30-minute naps. Quick,
Oh, wow,
quick
that's-
power naps. But I used to do that whole thing about like waking up at 5 a.m. and like going to sleep. And then that didn't really work out. I really liked it actually, but it didn't really work out because I had
You
like
feel like
night
you have
classes.
more time. It feels like you have a lot more time.
Yeah, exactly. You feel
The
like you
days
have
feel
lot-
longer.
Yeah, because everything goes on during the day. But when you're at night, you have to confine yourself to your laptop or to your room because there's no sun outside and nothing's open. So
I feel like that's when I'm more productive though.
Yeah, me
when
too.
I'm like when at night I have nobody to talk to because
Yeah,
everyone's
same.
asleep.
Yeah.
And I have no choice but to work.
Right, same.
when I'm at home, I feel this way. But when I'm here, I feel like I need to stay awake during the day, which is why I'm starting to stay awake during the day and then go to bed early at night. And then next week, I think I'm going to give a summary of how I did, of whether I succeeded in being more productive. Because last week, I wasn't productive at all.
But I also sleep better in the day for some reason.
During the day?
Yeah, I sleep
Alright.
better. I don't know why. I feel so much more refreshed when I wake up when I sleep in the day
Yeah.
than when I wake up in the morning.
I feel the opposite, actually. Do you feel that adopting those good habits make you a better business person?
No, I don't think.
Because a
to be
lot of successful business person, they go about their books saying that, oh, you need to wake up early, you need to be consistent, you need to surround yourself with successful people, you need to XYZ. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like they all have some truth to it, but at the end of the day, it's whatever works for you.
Right.
If you know, it's basically like a trial and error thing. For everyone has to kind of do that. They can definitely use books like that to guide themselves and see if it's gonna work for them. But if it doesn't, then you know switch around until you find your perfect, I guess, life
Balance.
balance. Yeah.
What do you think, Prince?
I think, yeah, like Eric said, like it depends on the advice. Like you definitely do need to like surround yourself with good, like good successful people that will like push you on. But like things like your habits, as in like when you go to sleep, I think it's really up to you. Like how you need to figure out when your most optimal part of your day is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't just go just because a couple of successful people said that. I'm sure there's successful people who go to sleep on the day and pull all-nighters.
But at the same time, don't you think that those successful people have set like, you know how in psychology you learn about crystallized intelligence or something like that, where some people, like your parents, they've already amassed an amount of knowledge, and then they pass that down to you. So that amount of knowledge for them is the maximum, but for you it's new knowledge. No, for you it's like standard knowledge, and then you build on that, and then you pass it down to your children, and they build on that because that crystallized knowledge is standard for them. So don't you think that the things that the successful people have learned and that they're saying in the books and in whatever form they're trying to communicate with you, it's standard, and then you build upon that?
Yeah, but then again, it depends on what they're saying.
True.
Right?
So if it's like Ty Lopez saying that he has like cars in his garage and
What is he
you
saying?
need to
He's
read
saying
20
to
books in a day.
20 books. You don't need to read 20 books a day.
I mean, like, okay, so another example is like Ty Lopez, like you guys said. There's also Gary Vaynerchuk,
Mm-hmm.
right? And these are two really popular like celebrity entrepreneurs or whatever. They're really different like people. You know, like Gary Vaynerchuk talks about how he's never read a book in his entire life, or like barely reads any books. And Ty Lopez, on the other hand, is like, oh, you should read constantly. That way you can constantly learn and everything like that, right? So there you already kind of see the differences and how different successful people can be, right? I forgot what the book was called, but there's a specific book where it talks about how success is a lot more about luck.
Who said that?
I forgot. It's a book. And the whole story is just about talking about how luck plays a huge part in success.
Was it by Gary Vaynerchuk?
No, it's not by
okay.
Gary Vaynerchuk, but I don't know. The book really changed my life because or not my life, but my way of thinking, because I also was really into reading all these books, like self-improvement books and stuff like that. And I had this mindset like, oh, if I read these books, if I read enough from these like great, I guess, gurus or like, you know, businessmen that have been successful, then I'll be successful too, right? So when I read this book, it kind of got me angry because it contradicted everything that I, you know, thought before. Yeah. But I think that's why I also kind of was also attracted and kept reading and ended up like rereading it again, because it was such a contradiction from what I believed before. And it talked about how, you know, a lot of things could play, you know, into your success, like, you know, money, genetics, where you live, where you're from, the time period that you're in, you know, but all those things can affect your education.
Speaking about luck, you cannot control luck, but you can increase your chances of being lucky, right?
Oh, no, definitely. Yeah, luck, you can make your own luck.
Yeah, because I feel like if let's say I never took the opportunities of making videos, right? That's a very far stretch from meeting you, right? If I never chose to make videos, I would meet you by Byron, but then when you came up with Seek Now and shit, you would never come to me to ask me about anything because you never know about anything about what I know and what I don't know, right? So in some way, I can say that I increased my chances of you finding me, so that we can go on board and start this together by starting the videos and you doing your stuff, and then we combine and we met together, right? That's me combining my luck and you increasing your luck and me increasing my luck of finding each other.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You definitely could increase your luck in that way, but even then, that's kind of luck. Are you really increasing? Like that whole aspect was also kind of lucky.
Yeah, it's kind of a shot in the dark.
And what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
No, but
Find it.
Find it.
but I get what you're saying. Okay, we are about done with the podcast. I just have a few things to say. My mom's not listening to the podcast. I talked
She's
to her.
not?
No. Are your parents listening to it?
Dude, I didn't even tell them that I was doing a podcast.
My mom knows because I try to put it on almost all of my social media platforms, and she's like, "Oh, the podcast, yeah, I've heard you doing this." I was like, "Yeah, but did you hear the whole podcast?" She was like, "Oh, no, why?" So
yeah, when I ask people if they listen to the podcast, they're like, no, but I listen to snippets of it.
oh, the proof of the snippets.
Yeah, a lot of people just tell me they listen to snippets.
Okay,
Like instead of the whole hour-long thing.
All right.
So a lot of people really value the snippets part.
I guess I'm just going to try to cut them more then, because I just try to cut a few and then post them online, and then I hope that it incentivizes people to actually check the whole thing out.
Yeah, like if it's like snippets, then they could click on it and then go to the.
Mhm.
Some people do that, but like a lot
Most people don't.
Yeah, if you're gonna be truthful.
Yeah. Also, have you ever sleepwalk?
No.
No. Do you?
I've been sleepwalking all my life, but
Really?
yeah.
That's crazy.
You know Jocelyn, right? Jocelyn Mondragon.
Yeah.
Jocelyn Mondragon is one of our friends' cousin, and also our friend. And one day during freshman year, I was in South Hall, third floor. Remember, we were living in the same floor. And one night, I woke up in my briefs in the hall, like
What?
totally naked, and she was staring at me. I was sleepwalking, and she was just staring at me, laughing because her boyfriend was our Ori, right?
Yeah.
Esteban.
Esteban.
Yeah, and she was just staring at me, and
Dang.
and she was laughing, and then she left. I was like,
Wait, why are we talking about sleepwalking?
I'm about to end the podcast, so we can talk about
okay. So
anything.
you're just ending on
You know
a funny note.
Yeah, huh?
What'd you say?
Yeah. She just laughed, and the lights in the hall just woke me up.
That's crazy. I've never experienced sleepwalking.
I mean, I sleep talk a lot. A lot of people tell me, like my roommate tells me that.
I do sleep talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope I don't say something like oh, I'm gonna kill somebody or something like that. Call the cops. Like I just
Start speaking another language.
Yeah. Recently, my roommate was telling me that in my sleep I was saying yes. Like
Really?
yeah, like celebrating in my sleep, saying yes, and also I would be speaking French a lot.
I want to learn French.
You want to learn French? Why?
I don't know.
It's sexy. It's sexy.
No, I don't know. I just want to learn another language, and I think French is cool.
Iris told me earlier today that she learned at the Leadership Academy that the oldest that you can learn a language is at 25 years old, because after 25 your brain just doesn't want to learn something new anymore.
So you just stopped learning at
It's not
25.
true.
Your brain just has a harder time to learn something from scratch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not like if you're going to
gotta
learn
cram
it.
everything we can now, guys.
Yeah. No.
All right. I think it's time to end it so I could go cram every single thing.
No, but I'm saying if you wanted to go get your PhD in CS or something, you would be able to do it because you already have a fundamental basis. But if you were to start something from scratch, like if you didn't know how to play an instrument and you were to start now, you would have a harder time than someone.
Wait,
before.
what about the people that go back to college though, and start
Yeah, let
studying
them go back to
something
college. They're
totally
really
new?
good. Like I know people in my class.
Who are
who's
really
like-
old, yeah.
Yeah, who are really old and they're really smart.
Did they start CS from scratch?
I know somebody who was like a plumber or something, and he went back to college.
But what was
I think
he
it's
learning?
because
CS from
it's
scratch.
because a lot of like what you're talking about is like what is it is IQ,
Mhm.
and that's based on like like a certain type of intelligence.
Yeah.
But there's also like intelligence based off of experience and also like discipline also grows as you get older. So you're able to like sit down and study, and you're also able to relate different concepts with your experiences. So I feel like that's why maybe it's easier, or a lot of older people can study and be a lot smarter than us undergrads, I guess.
Speaking of IQ, she was also saying that if you don't get your 7 hours of sleep per night, your IQ
drops.
starts getting lower.
False.
And I was saying that explains a lot about my grades. Anyway,
False.
you guys have anything else
I think
to say?
Bauer sleeps like Professor Bauer.
Yeah.
Dude, I know
He said he
Hale,
sleeps like 5 hours, and he said that's all you need.
bro, I know Hale doesn't sleep at all.
Yeah, he's like really smart. I think that's all baloney. Personally,
Hey, that's
Maybe
really-
it's genetics, dude.
that's
Yeah.
IIT's leadership academy for you.
IIT Leadership
Giving you
Academy is-
facts.
IIT Leadership Academy is baloney,
Hey, at least we're giving
and I'm
people.
not saying that because I got rejected.
Oh, you applied for it?
Yeah, I did like this year.
Oh,
They're like, get your beanhead ass out of here.
Well, well, they give scholarships, but I don't know. I'm just happy for my friends that got the scholarships, and
Yeah.
I'm really sad for you that you didn't get it.
It's okay.
But don't worry.
I'll go cry later.
Don't worry. Seek Now is gonna work so much that people are gonna be like, I wish I didn't spend my time pursuing a scholarship and working on Seek Now. I'm joking. Anyway, this was a podcast episode 4. Thank you, Eric, for blessing us with your presence.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Eric. Look at his
You,
aura.
Thank you for having me.
you are also the second guest that mentioned Gary Vaynerchuk, so I guess he has a huge influence now.
Oh yeah.
I hate the guy.
You hate
Gary
him?
Vaynerchuk?
He's becoming kind of annoying now.
True. He posts kind of too much, but that's also his strategy and his. Anyway, I'm then gonna talk about it. Anyway, let's sign off.
All right. Last thing, do you guys know Prince EA? You know Prince?
Oh
EA?
yeah, the guy, the motivational speaker,
I
was
hate that
super
guy
annoying.
too. I hate
Yeah,
that guy
hate him.
too.
I like him, but you look, he made him hate him. I unfollowed him today
Because he's so.
because of you.
He's
you
so
made him. You made me
annoying.
unfollow him. I'm like, wait. I think Eric is kind of right. This guy just says like things that I already know at the back of my head, and I'm just agreeing with him.
Yes,
Like,
dude.
But I already know it all.
Yes, I told you.
Yeah,
I know his videos on Facebook is super cheesy.
it's so cheesy. But I really like his view on like school and stuff, right?
Because it's exactly what you want to hear. It's
You're right,
they
you're
just
right, you're
regurgitate
right.
everything you want to already know.
You're right, you're
or
right.
already believe in.
That's true.
So it's like, it's just a mirror image of yourself. Just,
yeah, that's why you like it so much. But yeah, all right, let's end.
All right.
I have labs
Uh,
to finish.
Yeah, I have laundry to
Join
do.
ML Club.
Yeah, join ML Club, a new club.
Oh yeah.
Starting at.
Oh, you want to plug something?
Yeah, Eric, do you wanna advertise?
Yeah. Anyone that's listening, if there's anyone listening, join ML at IIT. It's gonna be a great club. We're gonna have a bunch of projects working. We're gonna have big companies come to us and speak. We're planning on having
ML
huge
stands
projects
for-
that everyone.
ML stands for machine learning, by the way.
Oh, ML stands for machine learning at IIT.
No machine learning experience required. Anyone could just come. You will learn.
Yeah. I'm vice president. Prince is the treasurer.
Yeah.
Who's president?
Rena.
Rena. Yeah, that's her name.
Is it a she or a he?
It's a she.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're a
Mhm.
progressive group.
Yeah. Anyway,
Our country might not have a president as female, but we do.
For those of you who wanted to see my dance moves, for those of you who like my dance moves, last week, thank you. I've heard people are like, "Hey, you can't dance," but I'm gonna show you one quick one real quick. All right, that's it.
I hope that you download Seek Now when it comes out. I guess it's going to be postponed now for when Prince manages to resolve.
It's not. I mean, technically, we did say it was gonna be out in November. That's what we said. We never.
Yeah.
Really said, we just assumed November 1st.
Well, our
It's not
plan
postponed.
personally in between us.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But like,
Also, we have to take pictures right now before you leave. I'm just gonna quickly take your pictures.
oh, okay.
All right.
All right,
Bye.
bye guys. Thanks.